GTA 6 trailer 2 hype still going crazy. The more people rewatch it, the more hidden details they're spotting, and today is no exception. Like, check this out right here. There's a little raccoon rummaging through the garbage bin off to the right in the background behind Brian. Needless to say, the trailer is so beautiful and it's so easy to miss things, which is why I have 14 next level physics systems to talk about with you, because if you miss them, you're going to want to see them. Some of them are really subtle. Others, let's just say they're pretty obvious. And just to be clear, I'm talking about game physics that mimic real-world movement, and yeah, Rockstar has been cooking. First and foremost, we gotta talk about jiggle physics. I mean, this one is not missable. It is so apparent in the trailer. We have to address the dump truck in the room. And when it comes to dump trucks, man, does Lucia got a dumpy. Jokes aside, it's not just jiggle physics, it's body physics. It is crazy the amount of attention to detail that Rockstar has put into the anatomy and physics of bodies when it comes to normal people, heavier set people, all walks of life. Rockstar has captured something truly incredible here. When it comes to the body physics, the thing you may have missed is muscle deformation and sweat physics. We can see bits of this at different key moments in the trailer. The first one being when Jason is working on the rooftop of the property that Brian has lended him rent-free. Jason's muscles contract and flex here whenever he's getting down off the roof, climbing down the ladder. We can also see the sweat glistening on him whenever he is standing on the deck, speaking down to Brian. As Jason turns his body and pivots towards the door, we can see his muscles flex, contract, and also see the sweat streams and sweat particles on his right bicep and right forearm. It is crazy just how different body parts are segmented down into muscle and fatty tissue. With the fatty tissue, there are jiggle physics, and with the muscles, you can see them flex and tense. A really good example of the muscles tensing was kind of hard to see in the trailer, but it was whenever there was a woman with Lucia in the bottom of a plane in the cargo area as she tackles Lucia down onto the landing gear. You can see her back muscles are absolutely shredded, and what's pretty wild is how each part of the back is tensing and flexing or relaxing, corresponding with the actions that this woman is taking against Lucia. What's even crazier is carbonation physics. Yeah, you heard that right. Carbonation. In one of the scenes where Jason is watching TV, there's an ad for ammunition running, but if you look really close, there's a bottle of beer sitting on the table. It looks cool, it looks chilled, and if you look inside of it, you can see bubbles rising to the surface of the beer, resembling carbonation. This amount of detail, especially for gameplay and not a cutscene, is unreal. It's unrivaled. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this in a video game unless it's specifically about food. So we talked about sweat, we've talked about carbonation. Let's bring it back a little bit towards the body side of things and talk about clothing physics. Now, when I mentioned clothing physics, some of it, yeah, sure, it was obvious. T-shirts move and deform a little bit with the character body. But the things you may have missed are the fact that everything when it comes to props are also moving. Chains, earrings, jewelry, all of it is interactive with the character movement, and this isn't just cutscene based, this is also in gameplay. Rockstar have literally taken the time to make every single object that a character is wearing simulate real physics. We can see this at various points in trailer 2, whether it's Jason's chain, Lucia's earrings, Baylux's chain and pendant, as well as her earrings, even down to the police officer's chain badge that he's wearing over his neck. The wild part about this that you may have missed is that everything seems to have its own values in this physics engine, to the point where they all move at different speeds even when the movement is the same. At this point, I wouldn't put it past Rockstar to have all these values change based on different conditions. For example, if the player gets completely submersed in water, I would bet you that the chain moves and floats in the water whenever you're submersed. I would also assume that earrings and things like that move quicker back and forth if it's a really windy day. All of these things play a major part, and the reason why I think these things will happen and fluctuate is because hair does this. Hair moves based on character movement, but hair also moves based off wind and various different conditions. The next thing you may have missed is rope physics. Now, there are only 2 moments in the trailer where we see a rope. One is in the bar when the lady is ringing the bell. You can see that the rope is completely dynamic and adjusting itself to the movement of the animation, and I don't know if it's real-time physics or if it's animated. My hunch is, and what I think trailer 2 suggests, is that these are dynamic. They're not animations. Reason being, the other moment where we can see a rope or a chain having physics is whenever the safe is being ripped out of the building during a heist and the truck is dragging it behind. The rope adjusts to where the safe is, and I would imagine if that's a mission, you're going to be driving it around and that thing is going to be having its own physics As the weight is transferred back and forth between the truck and the safe in a tug-of-war in a sense, we'll see the physics play a major part with the whipping and snapping, tension increasing, tension loosening, the slack, all that stuff is going to play a major part here. The part about this that's honestly mind-boggling to me is the terrain physics, because as you can see when the safe is being ripped around, the pavement and asphalt have a very different reaction to the safe than the sod and the grass when it comes to the median that it hits. It's really easy to miss, but it seems like Rockstar is hinting at the fact that terrain is going to play a major part in GTA 6. The physics especially. I mean, think about it. Look back at GTA 6 Trailer 1. We have that scene with everyone mudding and having a good time. We also have various scenes in Trailer 1 and Trailer 2 where people are walking through sand and their movement is more sluggish and reacting to the terrain accordingly. Even in Trailer 2 here, when we see the two women approach Jason as he's working out, they kick up sand and then their feet settle into it whenever they come to a stop. Even in the very beginning of Trailer 2, we see there's tire treads in the sand where Brian has pulled up into the driveway where Jason is staying. When you think about it on a large scale, it really does make sense how all of this is going to play into each other. It seems to be a super delicate, wildly complex system that comes the closest we've ever seen to capturing real physics. And we're not done there. When it comes to terrain, it is very in-depth, of course, but when you mix in water to GTA 6, you open a whole mess of potential issues. But Rockstar seemed to have captured it in its purest form and essence. Whenever you see the different moments in the trailer where boats are treading water, people are swimming, animals and wildlife are doing their thing as well, water seems to be the most complex we've ever seen in a video game. One thing that is very easy to miss are boats and the way they react to water and the physics there. Just when they're waiting in the water, they literally bob up and down. And the moment this happens, people have actually been missing it because Jason and Lucia are having a little bit of a banter. So not only are there physics when things are idle in the water, but also when they're traveling through it, creating waves and ripples, sending physics down into other things. This is truly next generation stuff. It's a work of art. I cannot wait to see more of it. Speaking of boats, vehicle physics are also very apparent in Trailer 2, specifically in one scene when Jason is riding a dirt bike and he tries to come to a stop and the bike suspension gets thrown forward. It seems that friction, weight, gravity, speed, and many other factors are all being taken into consideration with GTA 6. A very cool part of the trailer that really encompasses the drastic difference in vehicle physics from vehicle to vehicle is showcased perfectly during the big explosion when Lucia shoots a grenade launcher. We can see on the left side there looks to be a stockade type armored vehicle, and then on the right side we have two police cruisers. The vehicle on the left side, the big clunky one that seems to be very heavy, doesn't seem to move at all or react to the explosion. However, the middle car being blown up and thrown has multiple stages of the explosion and actually propels itself in different moments based on the physics of the explosion. The vehicle next to it, the other cruiser off to the far right side, also has a moment where it reacts to the first initial explosion and then propels itself even further away whenever there's a second one. There's even a moment whenever there's a character jumping off of a motorcycle into the back of a moving semi to steal a vehicle from a container. In this scene here, we see some really cool vehicle physics as well at play because the motorcycle is hitting the ground with its weight, it has friction, it doesn't just fling up in the air and move like it's light, it stays grounded. Now, going back just a little bit to a moment ago, I was talking about the explosion, right? Lucia was using a grenade launcher. Now, we didn't actually see her shoot it, we didn't get to see any physics of that specific weapon. I will say in the trailer, unfortunately, most weapons are similar to that. They're just being held by the characters. They're not actually being used. However, there is a scene that lasts all of like 3 seconds where Jason is doing a drive-by shooting a pistol out the window. During this very short-lived moment, we can see that weapons have physics too. The slide of the pistol recoils backwards with each shot in succession. Then it ejects the spent casing and then throws itself forward again, reloading the chamber. Now, of course, when it comes to speculation, this could just be an animation set for this specific pistol, but with everything else having its own physics, it's safe to assume that weapons do as well. We all know just how crazy Rockstar got with Red Dead Redemption 2 weapons, so here's hoping we see some complex stuff with physics in GTA 6. And last but certainly not least, really quick here, I wanted to mention rain physics. The only time we see rain in this trailer is during the moment when Jason and Cal are loading drugs onto the plane for Brian down at his marina. Even though it is a very short-lived moment getting to see different weather in GTA 6, the raindrops almost seem individual. There's rain leaking from rafters and different spots in the scene, implying that water collects in various ways because there are puddles and spots where water has collected throughout Trailer 2. Since we only see a few seconds of a different weather type in this trailer, I didn't want to dive in too much. But man, after seeing weather in Red Dead Redemption 2, can you imagine how crazy complex it's going to be in GTA 6? Rockstar doesn't even have to focus on multiple types. It's Florida we're talking about. It's mainly going to be rain and sunny weather. Oh yeah, and probably hurricanes. Let's just tack that up to another thing we look forward to seeing in Trailer 3. Alright everyone, that is it for today's video. Big ups for tuning in. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like rating down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet. And hey, let's just keep this GTA 6 hype rolling, alright? I'll see you all in the next one. Later.